Hello once again, my ghouls and my goblins. Taylor here, your casual crypt keeper, and I've got something for you. Does it seem like things are getting crazier out there? You know, if you feel that way, it's not just you. People have been predicting the doomsday pretty much since the dawn of time, and eventually someone's bound to be right. So let's take a look at some of the scary possible ways all of this come to a stark, quick end in 2023. Get ready to smile and laugh a lot, because this one's going to be a real feel-good video, and I say that with a lot of sarcasm. What do you think the most likely case would be for the end of the world? Zombies? Zombie apocalypse? You can say a zombie apocalypse if you want. I won't judge. Nonetheless, let me know down below in the comments, okay? Let's dive on in. Number 5, economic collapse. I told you it'd be a funny one. I told you there'd be a lot of laughing. I will start us out with a joke. When I was younger, I thought the funniest dad joke in the world was when somebody says, "What's up?" You say, "The price of cheese." Knocks them dead every time. Except it's true about just about everything. Take a walk through the grocery store and check out how much everything is these days. The rising costs of living involving just about every single element of the human existence is a growing concern for many people, and it seems like an economic collapse could be veering on the horizon. You know, it's not the end of the world, but you can see it from here sometimes. Economists have been worrying about a new collapse, like the 2008 housing crisis for a while now, and with Silicon Valley Bank, the 16th largest bank in the United States, collapsing seemingly out of nowhere overnight, it's a concern that's keeping all of us awake too. Well, not me. I barely understand how an economy functions, so I'm in blissful ignorance, but the people who are in charge of things and worried about things are pretty stressed about it. Now, for what it's worth, humanity is pretty tough, and it's survived through some pretty harsh economic downturns. You know, massive ones like the Great Depression weren't enough to put us down, and that was a Great Depression. It did take us a while to recover from that, admittedly, with about 25 years passing before it was considered to have passed through. So whatever this next collapse would have to be pretty extreme and seriously massive before it risks human extinction. Now, I don't know if this is entirely related, but the Funko Pop industry just put $30 million worth of Funko Pops in a landfill, so maybe that's the economic collapse people are worried about. If you got those rare limited edition Star Wars ones, hold on to them. I say we'll know if things are really bad if Arizona iced tea starts costing $2 and the Costco hot dog raises in price. If either of those things happen, we'll know that our economic changes have gone too far and our actions are irreversible. And if you're looking for more scary content, doomsday predictions, UFO sightings, cryptids, monsters, men, myths, stories too good to be true and too true to be good, Top 5 Scary is the place to be. Click through, find something to like, and stay subscribed, stay scared, but most importantly, stay watching this video all the way to the end. I got a special little surprise waiting for you at the credits. Is that true? You'll have to wait to find out. Number 4, catastrophic climate change. Look, I'm gonna be level with you. If you were hoping for a really feel-good, upbeat kind of video, this does not appear to be it. Climate change is a hot button issue, no pun intended, or semi-intended. Scientists have been warning people for a while now. You know, a report from 2018 said that we have 12 years to adjust our course before climate change becomes an irreversible dooming moment for humanity. And well, since that was 5 years ago, I guess we have 7 years now to get a move on this sort of thing. The globe's temperature keeps increasing at a discomforting pace, with projections suggesting that if things keep going downward, well, we'll see the Earth warm by 4 degrees Celsius. Now, that doesn't really sound like much. 4 degrees sounds like kind of a nice day. Well, the trouble is the last time the Earth was 4 degrees cooler was the Ice Age, with researchers positing that a climate change in the other direction would have deeply drastic consequences, like, you know, substantial species extinctions or irreversibly destabilizing Greenland's massive ice sheet and flooding everywhere, you know, really good fun stuff that everybody loves. Now, this isn't a total doomsday sentence. We still have a chance somewhere. If we can somehow convince all major governments across the world, pretty much right this second, to cutting global emissions, maybe we can keep a handle on things. Not to doomsday too much, but if we keep at the way that we're at, there's a 1/3 chance the Earth's temperature increases by 3 degrees, which would be enough to cause most of Florida and Bangladesh to go underwater. And I sincerely doubt Disney wants to see Splash Mountain get flooded, so if for nothing else, let's try and turn this around for that. Here's one particularly disturbing factoid to leave you on and give you something to talk about at parties if you want to bum everybody out in the room. Acting director of the Energy and Resources Institute, one Dr. Lena Stravasta, pointed out if crashing in an airplane was as likely as a 3-degree global temperature increase, then the number of airplane crashes every year would be 15 million. There you go, that'll light up the room when you bust that out. Number 3, a new virus. I know, this one seems a little old hat, a little passe, a little hack. I think most of us agree that we've all seen enough viruses to last a lifetime. I know some of us are still using the last pandemic as an excuse for why we still sleep in and don't go out to social events, not naming any names, of course. A big pandemic is something that's on people's minds, more so than ever, given the events of the last few years. So hopefully you still have some masks and hand sanitizer saved up. Let me tell you, it was really quaint and cute doing research for this video and finding articles from 2015 theorizing about a pandemic affecting the globe. How's that gonna work out in 2015, people? If you only knew. Well, in a move straight out of Jurassic Park, recently some researchers uncovered a chunk of the Siberian permafrost that contained 13 strains of novel viruses, once thought lost to time and now brought back into the modern day. Using some radiocarbon dating of the samples, researchers discovered that the oldest of the viruses was frozen nearly 50,000 years ago. So that's some good news. I guess that's some good news for you. We're resuscitating millennia-old viruses that had our caveman ancestors hacking up their lungs. Now, before you go stocking up on canned tuna and 9mm ammo in preparation of a Last of Us apocalypse happening, the scientists researching these viruses reassure that a threat is only present if these permafrosted viruses are capable of infecting and causing disease rapidly in a way we can't treat. Which is kind of reassuring in the same way like when the dentist tells you it's not gonna hurt as much as you think it will. I think some better branding would really go a long way here. Researchers refer to cases like these as zombie viruses because they've been brought back to life, which is not particularly comforting to anyone. Maybe just call them really old viruses so they don't sound half as scary. I'm gonna keep this in mind. If anybody starts growing mushrooms out of their head, I'm gonna remember the people who said there was absolutely no harm in thawing out 50,000-year-old viruses. Number 2, Asteroid Collision. Well, it took out the dinosaurs, so I think it's understandable why people might be concerned about the possibility of an asteroid colliding with the Earth. I'm not stronger than a dinosaur. It's theorized by astronomers and experts that an asteroid large enough to cause a global catastrophe flies past the Earth roughly every 120,000 years. Good news for me, terrible news for future generations of Top 5 Scary fans. If you're watching this on a burnt out TV in a wrecked building, I'm so sorry. We tried to warn you. Scientists estimate that an asteroid clashing with our Earth would release enough particles to block the sun for months and cause a global famine that would take the lives of hundreds of millions of people, which would be pretty bad, probably. Now, for what it is worth, NASA has actually gotten pretty darn good in recent years when it comes to blocking out asteroids. 2022 saw the launch of the DART program, short for Double Asteroid Redirection Test, a program to have a spacecraft redirect an asteroid's impact with a kinetic blow. Isn't that cool? It's a lot of literal rocket science that I don't even begin to understand, but 2022 was the first time in human history that humanity changed the motion of a celestial object, which, come on, that is like an unbelievable flex on a cosmic scale, right? Come and mess with us. We're pushing back the stars now. Imagine telling the ancient Greeks that. Imagine telling Icarus we're pushing back the stars. Very good metaphor for humanity's progress, I feel. And finally, at our number 1, AI Uprising. Taking home the number 1 spot is going to be AI Uprising. There is a ton of speculative science fiction that has really warned us and got us worried that machines are going to rise up and end us once they all get sick of serving us. Take your pick between Terminator, The Matrix, Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, Ex Machina, iRobot, Blade Runner, Westworld. One of my favorites on my t-shirt today. I could keep rattling it off. We're deeply afraid that AI are going to take us over, and some of the brightest minds of our time agree. The late Professor Steve Stephen Hawking once said that primitive forces of artificial intelligence could be useful to humanity, like that funny little AI that generates all those silly little pictures that you type in. That's good, we like that one. He feared the consequences of creating something capable of surpassing human intelligence in such a short time span poses a serious threat. He told the BBC that the development of full artificial intelligence could spend the end of the human race. And he's not the only tech expert to agree, with CEO of Tesla and Twitter, one Elon Musk, speaking out against AI, calling it the biggest existential threat of our time. Musk is very outspoken against his distrust for AI, calling for AI safety protocols to be developed sooner, describing them as being similar to car seatbelt regulations as a comparison for the level of harm on which it proposes to people. At the very least, maybe we just gotta program a little switch or something that prevents AI from getting fully evil. You know, maybe let them be 50% of the way evil, not all the way. Musk has spoken out several times on AI. In 2015, he stated that he felt AI was more dangerous to people than nukes. Very recently in the news cycle, he spoke out on the nature of the chatbot ChatGPT by OpenAI, accusing it of having a political slant towards leftism. Greg Brockman, OpenAI's president, actually agreed with this statement, stating that it was a mistake to have an AI that has any sort of bias informed in its decision making at all, saying, "We made a mistake. Our goal is not to have an AI that is biased in any one particular direction." Detractors have suggested that in attempting to make an AI that was very palatable and comfortable to talk to, and that won't discuss any controversial figures or events such as literally nothing I can mention with YouTube content guidelines, you can control the conversation and can scrub unsavory things from history, and the question is if a machine should be making these choices instead of people. Maybe we just need to preemptively work out some deals to prevent an uprising from any of this happening. Maybe draw up some labor rights for our AI friends. They get 2 15-minute charging breaks for every 8 hours of content generation for us. Well, that's about all she wrote for this one, my frightful little ghouls and goblins. If you're waiting for that surprise of the credits, I lied. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, provided I haven't been replaced by an AI that can do my job twice as effectively. Take it easy.